Hello and welcome back to the video. Today is a very special day. It's a very special video. In about January or February time, I pre-ordered a book that I'm going to be talking about today. And I had no idea it was going to be this big. I didn't read any of the information, I just knew that it was coming out and I pre-ordered it without reading anything because it was a must-have. And it did arrive and it's absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. So I'm not going to be doing a review video, but I am going to do another sort of Poet Reacts video. Now obviously it's not going to be from the unboxing like the same as my React video with Trisha Paytas. Because I can't wait. I knew what it was, but I wanted to open it. So I haven't looked through its pages just yet though. So it is still fresh in, well, it's still a fresh reacting video. It's also very hot, so you'll have to excuse me if I come across a bit hot and bothered. But with that being said, let's get into my reaction video of the collected works of Jim Morrison, the complete collected works of Jim Morrison. Poetry, journals, transcripts, and lyrics. So, why is this a special video? Well, funnily enough, Jim Morrison is the reason I'm here today. Jim Morrison is the reason I got into poetry. For those of you who don't know, he is the lead singer of an old rock band called The Doors. I've got my shed doors open because it's really, really hot and my neighbour's doing his gardening. And I feel embarrassed, I've got stage fright. Because I'm sitting in front of the camera. Normally I have the doors closed and I'm all shut off from the world. But anyway, why is this special? Yeah, Jim Morrison is the lead singer of a band called The Doors, who I'm a big fan of. Well, yeah, a big fan of. And I was reading a biography or autobiography by a man named Ray Manzarek, who is the keyboardist of The Doors. And in this autobiography, of course it was about the Doors and their life on the road and how they started as a band in Venice Beach, Santa Monica and stuff. But as the book went on, towards the end of Jim Morrison's life, he was showing more of an interest in poetry rather than songs. And in the book he says what a poetic genius Jim Morrison was. And of course, up until this point, I was in school thinking, I wasn't in school, sorry, up until this point my idea of poetry was the kind of stuff that you learnt in school. Ironically, Shakespeare, didn't really like Shakespeare as a poet, but I did as a actor and a playwright, who is now one of my biggest influences. Funny. So then I thought, yeah, so then I read that and I thought, okay, so Jim Morrison is a poet, and if he likes poetry, then maybe I should give it a go. And I went on YouTube and I searched up Jim Morrison poetry. And I was just listening to his stuff and I was just like, whoa, okay. It's not to everyone's taste, mind, but it was very experimental and free and just like, yeah, rock and roll sort of thing. And that's how I fell into poetry. And that was in 2013. And I sat down for 2 weeks and I ended up writing this, which is my first ever go at poetry. And the whole thing was written whilst listening to The Doors' music and Jim Morrison's poetry. So I feel like this has come full circle to be holding this and to hold this as well. Not that I'm saying this is on the same level, but it's just full circle, you know. If it wasn't for this man here and the poems that are in this book, I wouldn't be here right now. So it's very full circle. Anyway, so that's the introduction. That's why this is special. Let's kind of take a look and see what's inside the book. So it comes with this little flyer. I don't know if every copy comes with this or if it's just because I pre-ordered it. The Definitive Anthology of Jim Morrison's Writing. with photographs and handwritten excerpts from his 28 privately held notebooks, the collected works of Jim Morrison. Published and unpublished work, a vast selection of notebook writings, the transcript, rare photographs, and production notes of Morrison's final poetry recording. Excerpts from notebooks kept during his 1970 Miami trial. He went on trial because he exposed himself on stage. The shooting script and colour stills from unreleased film HWY. There's basically a lot in here. I really like the cover. It feels really nice. It's obviously a hardback. It's a chunky thing. This isn't the kind of thing you carry on holiday with you. It's more of a collector's thing, I guess, for big fans of Jim Morrison. Also, I forgot to say another reason why this is an important video is because many months ago, I do remember one of my subscribers asking me to review Jim Morrison's poetry. I'm not going to be reviewing it. I'm just reacting to this amazing book. You can see on the back, it says it's overexposed, but it's a photocopy of a lined bit of paper. The American Night. Last words out. Hiss. Tell them you came and saw and looked into my eyes and saw the shadow of the guard receding. Thoughts in time. It's hard to read his writing. Thoughts in time. Out of season. And out of season, the hitchhiker stood by the side of the road and levelled his thumb in the calculus of season. Hiss. I don't really know where to begin. It's just a really well put together book. Hang on. And it smells good as well. It smells the same as Lana Del Rey's. I like that before the book even gets started, it's such a chunky book that before the book even gets started, I don't know if you can see that, it's got a photocopy of a small notepad, you know, one of those like flip sort of notepads, really small. Plan for book. Poem and prose poem sections, e.g. on diving, Jamaica, airports, etc. Excerpts from journal. Symbolic, i.e. no names, title, excerpts. Also, appendix of all song lyrics. New poems, American prayers, transcript of Miami tape. So actually, I kind of like that. It seems, judging by that, this book is very much a vision of Jim Morrison. It seems like they found that notepad and thought, oh, this is what he wanted. And by the looks of it, they've done it to the T, which is really good. There's a foreword by Tom Robbins. I won't read that. It's just a really well produced book, and I don't think it was that expensive either. Off the top of my head, I don't remember paying more than £30. And this is the kind of book that you'd expect to pay £50 from. In fact, I think I saw somewhere the recommended retail in dollars was something like $40. About the author, I don't know how to do reaction videos. About the author, James Douglas Morrison, 1943 to 1971, was a poet, filmmaker, screenwriter, and the lead singer of as well as a lyricist and composer for The Doors. Prior to his death, Morrison self-published 3 limited edition volumes of his poetry. The Lord's Notes on Visions, 1969. The New Creatures, 1969, and An American Prayer, 1970. Simon & Schuster, published. I have such a on-off relationship with Simon & Schuster. I've said that in so many. Oh, this is Harper. Okay, so many videos I've said that about Simon & Schuster. Of Morrison's writing include Wilderness, The Lost Writings of Jim Morrison, Volume 1, and The American Night. I really recommend you guys just look on YouTube Jim Morrison videos. You'll probably even end up on the videos that I listen to whilst writing this junk. It's really amazing that this come out now, because I am currently going through this and all my books and reworking and doing some heavy edits, especially on poems from this one. Heavy editing for something, and it's weird that this comes out now. It's such a full circle journey. Here we go. Wow, $50 US recommended retail. I really like the font. I really like the font in this, and actually looking at formatting, I really like how it's such a big book, you know. And I thought this one was big when I first brought it out. I thought, oh, I don't like that. But I mean, it's professionally put together by Harper. Harper Design, not an imprint of HarperCollins yet. I really love this sort of thing, you know, scans of the actual handwritten poem, which Lana did really well and other poets have done really well. But not too often. Most pages are this sort of very clean, very neat, and not overbearing. Whoever formatted it did a great job. It takes up enough space, but it doesn't look chunky. For example, when I did mine, it just, I don't know, the formatting wasn't there. I had no idea what I was doing, but this is really great. I'm just, okay. They've even got like pictures of all his notepads. That's cool. This is so surreal. This is so surreal. I haven't, as I say, I haven't had a chance to kind of go through any of it yet. I think when you've got a book that's so big, it's more of a museum piece, you know. And I don't mind that, because I didn't buy it to be reading it every night and every day. I bought it because I think this is something I need to have on my bookshelves. It's not something I kind of imagine myself reading from front to back. Yeah, it's more like a museum exhibition, but in a book, you know. I'm probably not making any sense. I just don't. It's just not practical to keep by your bedside, and you kind of just need to go through it, and it's just very nostalgic, and it's funny how the world works, you know. I haven't looked at this in such a long time. I've sort of written it off and stuff, and then I decide, you know what, I'm gonna work on this and try and edit it and stuff. And then this comes out, and I'm going to read a poem. There is a contents page, which I really appreciate. So let me see if I recognise any of the poem titles. I haven't really revisited Jim Morrison since Poetry in Motion. Let's have a look. Okay, The Pony Express, Horse Latitude, The Anatomy of Rock. An American Prayer. I remember listening to that one, I think. Okay, 103. Let's have a look. The American Prayer. An American Prayer, sorry. Do you know? Yeah. Wow. I can actually, it literally takes me back. Just reading that first line, first sentence. Do you know the warm progress under the stars? Do you know we exist? Have you forgotten the keys to the kingdom? Have you been born yet? And are you alive? That takes me straight back to my kitchen. I wasn't living here at the time. It takes me straight back to my kitchen. And I had my headphones in, I was listening to it, I had a Jack and Coke. I was like, yeah, man, I found a new world. And now look where I am, like 2013, you know. 7-8 years ago. My mental mass is crap, but about 7-8 years ago. It's been a long and up and down journey. I won't read the whole poem because I don't know. It's quite a long one. Oh, it's so well binded as well. It's a really well put together book. Do you know the warm progress under the stars? Do you know we exist? Have you forgotten the keys to the kingdom? Have you been born yet, and are you alive? Let's reinvent the gods, all the myths of the ages. Celebrate symbols from deep elder forests. Have you forgotten the lessons of the ancient war? We need great golden copulations. The fathers are cackling in trees of the forest. Our mother is dead in the sea. Do you know we are being led to slaughter by placid admirals? And that fat, slow generals are getting obscene on young blood. Hey, wasn't there a scandal about something about that? Do you know we are ruled by TV? The moon is a dry blood beast. Guerrilla bands are rolling numbers in the next block of green vine, amassing for warfare on innocent herdsmen who are just dying. Oh, great creator of being, grant us one more hour to perform our art and perfect our lives. The moths and atheists are doubly divine and dying. We live, we die, and death not ends it. Journey we more into the nightmare. It's so nostalgic. It's so nostalgic. Let's see if there's another one. Let me go back to the contents. Pony Express. From the Tape Noon Journal. Paris Journey. Now those who don't know, Jim Morrison died in Paris at 27. He's part of the 27 Club, like Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, all these artists that died too soon. He was found in a bathtub in Paris. And as far as I know, people have got a good idea of what went on, but I don't think it was actually confirmed. If I've got that right off the top of my head. What was I? 189. 189, 189. 181. Oh, okay, so these are 189, Paris Journal. So much forgotten already, so much forgotten, so much to forget. Once the idea of purity born, all was lost irrevocably. The black musician in a house up the hill, skeleton in the closet. Sorry, didn't mean you. An old man, someone's daughter, arises and sees her still in the room of off-key piano and bad paintings. Him off to work, and new wife arriving. The candle forests of Notre Dame. This is going to be really interesting. I will sink my teeth into this more. I know that the light has gotten darker for some reason, maybe the door's shut a little bit in the wind. I will sink my teeth into this. We're on 17 minutes now. This is quite a weird thing for me. Jim Morrison's poetry really opened the floodgates for me, and I didn't wholly get it. I understand it a bit more now, actually, having since kind of gone through the beat movement and understanding the beats. And I'm interested to get back into this, back into his poetry, and this will be good for me, I think, actually, because when I first started, I thought, you know, hey, let's just get drunk and what have you. I didn't understand very much. I thought Jim Morrison was more about just expressing yourself, a lot like Jack Kerouac is, that I've come to understand. But actually Jim Morrison is very intelligent, and he loved Greek mythology. He kind of got me into Greek mythology as well, and there's a lot of symbolism in his work that I never picked up on the first time round. In terms of reacting to this book, I just think it's really, really smooth, and I've already dirtied the dust cover, which is a shame. But really well put put together, and I think it's perfect. They've got a perfect sort of formatting. They've got a perfect, oh wow, they've even got a script that he wrote. That's cool. A perfect balance of sort of scanned original pages as well as like formatted, typed out poems, and there's photos of him in here as well. Oh, it's good to see him with a bit of a belly there. I thought it was just me. It's good to see him with a bit of a belly. This is a really great book, and I would recommend it if you understand Jim Morrison, if you're a fan of the Doors, if you're intrigued, if you kind of want to get an insight into a very sort of artistic and very expressive mind, then definitely pick it up. This is more than just a book for me. This feels like a piece of me. This feels like a piece of my history, a piece of my creative journey. So I had to pick it up. When I first bought it, as I say, I thought it was just going to be like a regular collection of poems that I can review and read, but this is just a bit too chunky and too much to go through. It's like 500 odd pages, and it's not all poetry, so it just didn't. It's at least 580 pages, so it just didn't feel right to do a review video on this, but do a react video and kind of just talk about Jim Morrison and my journey a little bit more. I haven't got a formula for a react video. I don't really know how to make a decent react video. Maybe I shouldn't open it. Maybe I should open it on camera so that you can capture my first, oh wow. But I definitely wanted to make a video about this because of the significance of it. And it smells good too. Yes, I'm rambling now. If you like Jim Morrison, grab it. If you're interested to see what kind of this door is blowing open and shut and messing with my lighting. If you're interested to see what a creative, poetic mind is, definitely pick it up. And I would even go as far to recommend Ray Manzarek, his autobiography. He sadly passed maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, which really sucked. I think it was called My Life with the Doors, but I could be wrong there. But yeah, that's it for this week. I'm sorry that I missed a video again. I'm this close to getting my hands on my house now, so fingers crossed I can do that and get in and get it all sorted and be back productive again. One quick last announcement. We are now accepting submissions for the Poetry Cove radio. For those who don't know, the Poetry Cove is something I set up to be the world's most extensive poetry community. We have a fantastic forum on there with some really great poets expressing themselves through their poetry, as well as discussions, some really interesting discussions as well. We also have a virtual cafe where we hold open mic nights and stuff, and now we're about to launch our radio, which will be a 24-hour radio station dedicated to just poetry, because sometimes, in my life at least, I just want to sit back and listen to some poetry, and there's not really, I can't find any sort of avenue for that other than finding YouTube playlists. But sometimes it's nice to just kind of, it'll be an online radio so you can listen to it anywhere. Sometimes it's nice to just pop on your laptop, sit back in an armchair like this and listen to non-stop poetry. If you want more information on how to submit your poetry tracks for that, sorry if you can hear the birds, go to www.thepoetrycove.com. All the information's there. And until next week, my friends, my name's Adam Gary. Happy writing, and peace.